Right now at noon, the I-44 bridge at Fidelity reopens after a crane crashes into it.
And we had some strong to severe thunderstorms this morning. We still have some in our forecast. We'll take a look at that coming up.
And former President Donald Trump fires back after his federal arraignment.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The I-44 bridge at exit 18 in Fidelity, Missouri is open to both east and westbound traffic after a collision Tuesday creates major structural damage. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, work is underway to repair the damage after an oversized load trailer hauling a crane struck the girders of the overpass yesterday. The collision happened around 2 p.m. I-44 initially closed to through traffic as MoDOT inspectors assessed damages. And MoDOT says the bridge is structurally sound and is reopened while construction underneath is underway. However, all of the on and off ramps at exit 18 are closed for the safety of the workers below. Webb City police say a man wanted by multiple Southwest Missouri agencies is now in custody. Officers arrested James Hebert III in Jasper County, Missouri. Hebert's apprehension was a high priority for law enforcement as he was wanted for a number of thefts, property damage, and resisting arrest. Police also believe Hebert was involved in 2 recent high-speed pursuits. Well, it's a bit calmer now after a string of morning storms across the 4 states. Chris Warner joins us with a first look.
Yeah, we are considerably calmer this afternoon. However, we are expecting more thunderstorms to develop. So what you can't see in the still image, but you can see here in the clouds is this swirl. All of this is spinning around. It pushed all of our activity out to the east this morning, and take a look. We're starting to see, they're little, but we are starting to see a few little cells get going, and that's going to be round 2 of thunderstorms as we head later into the evening. So let's take a look. If you look a little closely, you can see right here, you see that spin, and you see those additional thunderstorms developing. All that severe weather, everything we had this morning has moved on out of here, and in fact, they're dealing with a much more intense severe weather situation to our south and down into the southeast as well. Yesterday started out pretty chilly, 56, did make it up to 83, so not far off the average for the high, but not quite where we should be for our overnight lows, but temperatures will continue to warm, and they will do so. Some of us already warming nicely. 75 in Fort Scott, 73 Pittsburgh, 69 Joplin, Carthage, 70 in Neosho, 68 Oswego, and low 70s Yates Center, Chanute, Neodesha, and Parsons. Now, what we're keeping an eye on is we're still looking at scattered thunderstorm chances as we head into the afternoon, and those will continue into the weekend, and we could see a couple other rounds of strong, possibly severe thunderstorms, and temperatures will continue to remain warm. We'll take a complete look at your forecast and when our next round of thunderstorms gets here and how the weekend is shaping up in just a few minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Former President Donald Trump pushes back against federal charges against him. Following his historic arraignment, the 2024 Republican candidate Donald Trump told a crowd of supporters that he had every right to have the documents. Christian Benavides has the latest.
More importantly, it's a political persecution like something straight out of a fascist or a communist nation.
Speaking to supporters in New Jersey hours after he pleaded not guilty in a Florida courtroom to 37 felony counts, former President Donald Trump called the federal charges against him fake and suggested outgoing presidents can take with them any records they want.
Under the Presidential Records Act, which is civil, not criminal, I had every right to have these documents.
Legal experts tell CBS News the act draws a distinction between personal and presidential records, requiring all official records to be turned over. This is the first time the Justice Department has ever charged a former president with a crime. Those charges include allegedly retaining classified documents illegally and trying to hide them from Justice Department investigators after receiving a subpoena.
You really could be seeing serious jail time if he is convicted.
Fellow GOP presidential hopefuls reacted to the indictment.
I can't defend what is alleged, but the former president has a right to his day in court.
I don't think that most Republicans support the conduct that's detailed in that indictment. It's reckless. It's harmful to American national security.
Trump promised to appoint a special prosecutor to go after President Biden and his family if Trump wins back the White House. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Well, the judge says Trump is now barred from talking to Walt Nauta, his co-defendant and aide, about the case. And he was told to not engage with potential witnesses, since many of those witnesses work for Trump. Enforcing that order could be difficult. Well, the Federal Reserve meets today to decide whether to raise interest rates again. But most analysts believe they'll hit the pause button, thanks in part to the latest May inflation numbers, which show prices are up just 4% from a year ago. Inflation has been cut by more than half since the peak of 9.1% last June. And the U.S. announces another $325 million in military aid for Ukraine as the Ukrainian military continues its counteroffensive. The aid includes more armored vehicles. Russia, without offering any evidence, claims it has destroyed 25 to 30% of Ukraine's foreign supplied hardware. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on the KOAM News at noon, safety advocates warn about a potential safety risk on the roads as car makers roll out bigger and heavier electric vehicles. And later, we're making strawberry patch ice cream in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Car safety advocates warn about a potential risk from electric vehicles as automakers roll out bigger and heavier EVs. There's growing concern that extra weight of those batteries could result in extra risk to other drivers and pedestrians in a collision, especially from electric trucks and SUVs. Chris Van Cleve spoke with the chair of the NTSB about those concerns.
Crash tests show electric vehicles hold up well in a collision. The extra weight from their batteries help better protect the people inside. But safety advocates worry the extra hundreds and sometimes thousands of pounds present a potential growing danger to other drivers.
It's great that we are focused on air quality, but we are not focused on safety with these vehicles.
National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy.
If you think about an impact in a crash with a lighter vehicle, with a pedestrian, it's going to have a much different outcome. Terribly tragic.
Is there a concern that as people switch to EVs that you see deaths on the roads go up?
Absolutely, it could.
This crash test shows what happens when a sedan is hit by an SUV weighing nearly 1,000 pounds more. The smaller car suffers noticeably more damage.
Why does that extra weight make a difference?
The mass matters, and it's simple laws of physics.
Raul Arbelais from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
The crash for the other vehicle, when you are heavier, is going to be more severe.
GMC's electric Hummer can go 0 to 60 in roughly 3 seconds while weighing more than 9,000 pounds. Over 3,000 pounds more than GMC's full-size pickup. And its battery alone comes in at about 2,900 pounds, roughly the same as a Toyota Corolla. The electric Ford F-150 weighs up to 2,500 pounds more than its gas-powered sibling. And Rivian's pickup weighs in around 7,100 pounds, while the average vehicle on the roads today weighs closer to 4,300. That difference matters. A 2011 study found even a 1,000-pound difference results in a 47% increase in the likelihood a crash turns deadly.
Have a 7,000-pound vehicle hitting a 4,000-pound SUV. The impact on that smaller vehicle is going to be quite significant. It is going to be a more severe crash with more intrusion and higher levels of injury.
Safety advocates acknowledge that weight is only one factor in a crash, and while EV sales are surging, they still make up only a small fraction of the number of total vehicles on the roads, so injury and crash data is limited.
In a statement, the trade group representing the auto industry says safety is a top priority, adding automakers continue to test, develop, and integrate breakthrough safety technologies like automatic emergency braking that help save lives and prevent injuries. Technology already common in EVs. Federal regulators are now moving to require collision avoidance systems in all new vehicles, gas or electric. The government says it would save 360 lives a year while reducing injuries by at least 24,000. We saw collision avoidance technology stop this nearly 5,000-pound electric Genesis SUV on a test track. Technology helping balance out bulked-up batteries. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News in Ruckersville, Virginia.
Still to come on the KOAM News at noon. Mr. Food.
It's Flag Day, so display your stars and stripes and join us as we celebrate with an all-American dessert.
And we've got ourselves some storm chances once again as we head into the afternoon. We're going to take a look at that forecast and some other storm chances this week when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We've got a slightly more calm afternoon after we dealt with a few different severe thunderstorm warnings, especially down in northeast Oklahoma and back into northwestern Arkansas, and even had some wind damage reports down there. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. Let's take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker right now, though. And as you can see, a few light showers in southwest Missouri, but we are starting to see things clear out a bit. You can see some clearing taking place across parts of northeast Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, and in our far northern counties into southwest Missouri. But take a look up to the north of Chinook. Now, these guys are relatively small, but nonetheless, we are beginning to see some redevelopment take place, and we're seeing a little more of that take place just to the southeast of Wichita as this whole thing starts to spin around and kick a few more storms our way this afternoon. We've got some good news about that too. We'll get into that. Severe thunderstorm watch down to our south. Another one here, a couple of tornado watches, and that's 1, 2, 3 tornado warnings across parts of western Georgia and eastern Alabama, and they actually had a confirmed tornado earlier. So the good news is our severe weather threat for today is all but gone. Thunderstorms, yes, maybe a stray strong storm, but severe weather is not in our forecast for today. These orange marks are orange dots representing wind damage reports. We had winds upwards 60, 65 miles an hour as that line of severe thunderstorms fired up and then quickly turned to the southeast and just plowed right through northeast Oklahoma into northwest Arkansas. And of course, where that bigger batch of rain was, we got some decent amounts of rainfall, at least for some of us, upwards of 2-3 inches of rain. Now, our storm chances are still there as we go later through the week. So today, just general thunderstorms. We're looking better. Tomorrow, we have that low to elevated risk in parts of southeast Kansas. However, the chance of storms tomorrow is very low. But if we were to see a thunderstorm or two, could go strong, possibly low-grade severe. Friday, on the other hand, we've got a bigger elevated risk for most of our southern counties, and then a low-end severe risk for another good portion of the area. And Saturday, let me back up real quick. Saturday, we've got a severe risk that goes through southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, right up to the Missouri state line. So that's another round that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Let's talk about what's expected for the rest of the day. Here we are at 4 o'clock. That spin out there gets us a few more showers and thunderstorms. A stray strong storm or two is possible, but the good news is the overall severe threat is limited. But these will push through as we head through later tonight. Here we are at 10 o'clock. Most of them start crossing into southwest Missouri and out of northeast Oklahoma. And you see that spin as this system exits on out of here. And then as we go into our Thursday, again, out far west, we could see some additional storms. But the good news is the overall risk for storms tomorrow afternoon out there is low. Rain chances will pick up for us as we head later into the evening with the redevelopment of showers and thunderstorms, and then they will clear on out of here. All right, quick look, MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. Starting to see a little more sunshine. Camera here at KOAM. You can see some blue skies out there trying to sneak in. And KDOT camera at 69 and 520th Avenue south of Pittsburgh. Still a little bit on the cloudy side. For the rest of today, we're still looking to make right around 80. Some of us that get a little more sunshine will be a little bit on the warmer side. Mid-80s tomorrow, partly cloudy. Then we've got those severe thunderstorm chances, or at least some strong storms Friday, low 80s. We're going to go low 90s Saturday and watch for that possibility of strong, maybe severe thunderstorms Saturday evening into Sunday morning. We're in the upper 80s for Father's Day, 90 on Monday. And then additional pop-up storm chances as we head toward Tuesday of next week. But regardless, as you can see, as we head toward the weekend, temperatures really start to warm up. It's going to start to feel pretty toasty ahead of the first day of winter.
Yeah, well, hopefully those storms, you know, the temperatures aren't that bad right now. We can handle that.
Yeah, we can. We certainly can. But we've got those storm chances to look out for.
Got to watch those. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making Strawberry Patch ice cream after the break. Nothing beats the taste of homemade ice cream in the summer. Today, Howard shares a tasty 5-ingredient recipe in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
In case you didn't notice it on your calendar, today is Flag Day. So to celebrate, besides proudly displaying it and wearing something red, white, and blue, we created a patriotic homemade ice cream that's also worth adopting. All you have to do is mix together a can of sweetened condensed milk, a splash of vanilla, and a couple of drops of red food coloring. To that, we stir in a package of frozen strawberries that we thawed and mashed. Now, we fold in some freshly whipped heavy cream. The key here is to do it gently so the whipped cream doesn't break down. Then we spoon this into an airtight container and into the freezer it goes to firm up. What we end up with is the best strawberry ice cream you've ever tasted. You could even top this off with a few blueberries and a mini American flag, and you've got a dessert that is Flag Day worthy. To get the recipe, go online and type in Strawberry Patch Ice Cream. While you're there, make sure you sign up for our free e-newsletter so you can get all of our TV recipes delivered daily to your inbox. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a patriotic way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
We can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
All right, we've got thunderstorms redeveloping this afternoon and into this evening. The good news is we're not expecting any severe weather with this. Still looking at highs right around 80, mid-80s tomorrow. And we're watching the possibility of some strong, possibly severe storms Friday and then again Saturday evening into Sunday morning. So something we'll have to keep an eye on. Otherwise, temperatures climbing as we head into the weekend. Low 90s, upper 80s out there.
What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, a lot at 5. For starters, there's a new way to look at blood donations. In Health Watch, we're going to take you to the first blood bank in the country that's using mixed reality glasses to make the experience more relaxing, they say. Plus, MoDOT discusses the I-44 bridge repairs and safety after damage from that crane yesterday. And McDonald County officials host the first State of the County Vision 2030. Hope you join us for those stories, a lot more. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dal. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.